Alright, so I'm making this video because I won't stop being accosted by people on Twitter at 3 in the morning, but that's my own fault because I checked Twitter on my phone at 3 in the morning. And I saw this. This is amazing. I'm so excited, and I want to talk about all of this. But first, I'm going to talk about a couple different theories on who this person is on Torrent in this field. We have a couple different theories. Theory number one, that I'm just gonna... I don't have a lot to say about theory number one yet. I think it's a cool idea, but there's so much about theory number two that I'm going to be talking about. Theory number one is championed by Raph, who is Queen Marika fan number one. And it is a really cool idea that this is actually a little bit of a red herring and is not Mikola, but is actually Queen Marika as a child or a young girl, and that this is the Erd tree that's been struck by the Elden stars potentially, which is why we have this like fresh wound happening. So maybe a meteorite impact, who knows. I don't know what the deal with the ghosts would be in that circumstance, but it's a super fascinating theory, and I would love to go to kind of like Crucible era in the past. I would love to see that. I would love to go in the past and see Godfrey's Crucible Knights in action. I would love that so much. I would love to see Queen Marika's whole past and, you know, why she decided to seal away Dust and Death. I would love it. I would love to see it. Second theory, that is Mikola. And that's the one that I think I align with the most. Not just because, and this is to say too, FromSoft pulls shit like the red herring shit. Raph has a good reason for thinking this. FromSoft pulls red herring shit all the time because the old Hunter DLC for Bloodborne depicted Lady Maria, but in such a fashion where they were very androgynous and didn't even look like a woman, but also didn't look like the doll that we see in the Hunter's dream. So it was a really big, grand reveal when we found out that Lady Maria was the flagship character, or like old Hunter, although Orphan Cost was like a super big reveal too, but Lady Maria was like on the cover of the DLC announcement art, so it was super exciting. I loved that reveal. It was like a really big hat trick flip-flop razzle dazzle. It was really great and fun, but there's so much about Mikola that I am excited to dive into that I want to talk about. So let's get at it. Let's talk about it. First off is that obviously this is Mikola's iconic extra braided hair. There's like hella fucking braids coming off this thing. We got like, well, what? We got like 4 that are visible, including this one that's like going around the head. But you know, Mikola loves their braids. Look at all that. Razzle dazzle, beautiful, fantastic. And then we also have just like the white imagery going on. The only imagery that we have of Queen Marika is with her twin braids that are actually severed. One of them is cut off, one of them remains long, so it kind of shows this relationship of imbalance, potentially either with her twin rune holder, the Glowmite Queen, or potentially with Radagon, her other half, quite literally. So that could be symbolic of that. But I'm just going to talk about Mikola for a little bit. So Mikola has a metric boatload of cut content. And a lot of the cut content centers around dreams and around this NPC named Rico. And I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Hikuron on Reddit. Rico, they wrote this, and they also pulled a lot of these assets from the game files and organized them for y'all. So I'll link that Reddit thread down in the description. But they said that Rico is an NPC that our player would have encountered in an early game area like Limgrave. He introduces himself as a follower of Saint Trina, Mikola the Unalloyed. He says he knows how to make the legendary Dream Brew. If you can bring him the material needed, the Tarnished could gather the material by sneaking to a nearby enemy. After gathering 2 of the said material, giving it to Rico, he then teaches you how to make it. So what you do is you use Mikola's, or Saint Trina's, crystal ball, and you gather the dreams of sleeping enemies and entities that are found throughout the lands between. It's very cool. You can even have there's a special drought that you can get that has this cool double helix design hidden in it. And as you can see, we could get various NPCs and enemies. This is like Garunk. You can't really see, you can see his whiskers. Then we have Ronnie, which is really cool that you could get their dreams. Another little remnant of what I believe might be Rico are these candle trees. So as you can see, there's this spiritual version of the Halig candle tree. And these candle trees don't show up anywhere else in the game. They show up physically in the Halig tree. They don't show up anywhere else. And there's a commoner or like a royal noble NPC that appears when you interact with them, and he kind of hobbles about and he shows you where points of interest are on the map, typically caves or just anywhere else. And Rico presumably was searching for Saint Trina, and if you find what's left of Rico anyway in the actual game, not the cut content, what's left of him is a dead noble corpse where you can get Saint Trina's cookbook off of, or it's like the missionary. Is it not the missionary? It's one of the Saint Trina cookbooks where you can make some of the Saint Trina items, whatever. But if you read the cookbook itself, it actually says that there was a man who sees Saint Trina in his dreams and he's searching for her. So presumably Rico could have been on a rescue mission to find our kidnapped Saint Trina. But another really cool thing that's associated with this whole quest line is this idea of the dream drought and the dream mist. And a really cool little fun fact for y'all is that the dream mist actually still exists in the game, and it's actually Ronnie who's able to utilize it in this instance. And there's something a little bit curious here about that I kind of love. But the snowy crone that Ronnie's body is based off of has a couple of features that are really like exciting to me, peculiar to me. Obviously she has 4 arms, but there are 4 armed spirit caller revenants that live in Liurnia, and they have the little bells and they call wraiths, and it's Ronnie who we get the bell from. The Snowy Crone's Rise, or the building that's called Rena's Rise, leads us to the Ionsel River Main and some of the Eternal City undercities. So there's this kind of association with sleep magic that Ronnie seems to kind of be familiar with, but Miquella, on the flip side, is also using Eternal City technology and other stuff to make the walking mausoleums. So as you can see, a lot of the walking mausoleums here have the kind of like teal fleur motif that's on the side of them, and you could see it throughout the Eternal Cities. So it kind of seems like both Ronnie and Miquella are aligned in a lot of ways. I don't think they're the same person. I know that there are a lot of theories out there that they may be working together or they may be the same person, but I just think that they may have had whether it was like an actual relationship with the Glowmide Queen, or some kind of relationship with the Snowy Crone, or you know, maybe there's some kind of like cool, you know, Eternal City sleep magic going on. That could be what's happening. I don't fucking know. But what I do know is that that would explain a lot of the strange ghost imagery that we're seeing in this world, and would also explain this like bizarre darkness that we're seeing. Because this almost looks like it could be a dream. It almost looks like Placidusax's dream with the sky melting away. This could also be, if this is, you know, like Raph is mentioning, if this is young Marika and this is her maybe creating the age of the Erd Tree, this could be her on her quest to make the Erd Tree immortal to protect her age from succumbing to darkness, kind of similar to Gwyn in Dark Souls. So that's what it could be, if this is like a you know, an outlier, or not an outlier, what am I saying? If this is a red herring. But yeah, it could be like a ton of different things. But I do love Miquella and all of the kind of like uncut ghost and dream content that we would potentially be getting. So I'm hoping. I know that I was talking to Vati earlier, and I challenged him to a duel on who's gonna sound more tired in their video upload, because for those of you that are watching, I can talk. Vati is going to be uploading a little something something. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I'm gonna say it. So, get get ready. Get ready, y'all. Get ready. Okay, I need to fucking go to bed. I need to go to bed. Okay. Good night, everybody.